Miles was, had FBI people working with him from the very beginning time he got to the United States. He was very upfront. He had come on War Room years ago. I had been on his show years ago. He used to talk about this, one of the key elements. The Ministry of State Security would threaten Chinese nationals here, particularly the anti-CCP, with problems with their families back home. How did the FBI, in your belief, how did the FBI miss something that's out there in broad daylight? And now it's going to be a huge thing because these congressmen, we've checked with some of the staffs, they're outraged that this was allowed to go on, and only now the FBI's moved on it. Any thoughts on that, ma'am?
Yeah, it's very disturbing because as a Chinese American who have been living in this country for over 20 years, I've seen very similar CCP police station or CCP front organization across the United States of America, and ranging from the East Coast to West Coast, from LA to San Francisco to Chicago to Houston, and all over the places. And why they're only making arrests in New York City. And so this is deeply troubling because the Chinese American people are the biggest victim of the CCP's police station. And that's why the people who are living in this country, I have a lot of Chinese American friends, they are afraid of speaking truth to the power. They are afraid of coming to the camera and to expose the CCP's illegal activities because they're being held as hostage, by the CCP's secret police station on the U.S. soil. And usually, the Chinese American people have their loved ones back in China, and the CCP police station will start making harassment against their loved ones back in China. But the most important thing, these illegal CCP's front organization or United Front organization, they do not just spy on the Chinese dissidents. They're getting involved into the local politics. Remember Eric Swalwell, his campaign was helped by Fan Fan, who is a CCP spy. And also the CCP police station in New York, they put together fundraising activities for the local politicians. And we heard from the news, Chuck Schumer and Mayor Eric Adams returned the money they got from the CCP police station's operative. They returned the money. And so there's so many things that we need to, I like to, demand more actions.
Leo DiCaprio said in the trial that Jolo, who's an agent of the Chinese Communist Party, and they helped him steal the money, talked about putting $40 million into the Democratic Party. $40 million to basically get more activity of the Chinese Communist Party.
There's so much to talk about the Price Michelle case because this is a story that has been suppressed and censored by the mainstream media. And American people need to know the truth because you deserve to know the truth of why Mr. Moskwa, CCP enemy number one, is behind the bar. This is not about his personal individual liberty. This is about your country's justice system that has been weaponized by the CCP. Thank you so much for having me today.
Amen. Truer words have never been spoken. Miles Guo is the first guy to come here in this country and warn us about the CCP specifically. This is not about China. It's not about Lai Baizhang. It's not about the Chinese people. They're not the enemy of our country. The Chinese Communist Party is the enemy of the Chinese people, and they're the enemy of the American people.